Donnie,
What's up?
hey, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Awesome. Cool. Internet is garbage tonight.
Oh, mine is pretty good. I'm playing Spider-Man.
Hey,
I'm just trying to finish up this last little mission real quick.
playing Spider-Man right now?
Yeah.
Nice. The yeah, you didn't get the new one yet, right?
Nah, this is just the one that Matthews let me borrow.
Oh, got you. All right, let's talk about this movie.
Yeah. So, the title of today's movie is called Anything for Jackson.
Yeah.
And it was what?
No, I'm just cracking up about it. But yeah, go ahead.
So, the plot, let's talk about the plot. So, the plot was basically this old elderly couple are they kidnap a pregnant woman to perform a reverse exorcism to get their dead grandson back alive,
Yep.
which
Yeah.
was crazy. First of all, who would even think to do something like that?
Well, kind of the idea is the same as Rosemary's Baby, um, where um, the they make a deal with the devil. So to dive in even further, basically these this elderly couple, their names are escaping me at the moment, so I apologize to anybody who's going to listen to this later. But they lost their grandson in a car accident. That the
Yep,
it was the mother and the grandson. The mother survived, but she was
she was
paralyzed, and then
paralyzed.
she committed suicide. Right
Yeah,
after
she
that.
they had like an elevator in their house, and she literally like she jumped down the shaft.
Yeah, that's right. She like wheeled her wheelchair, or she had like an electric wheelchair, and she made it go down, yeah, down the elevator shaft, which is that was pretty. Honestly, this movie was pretty good. Like
It was.
it was really good. We were both pleasantly surprised, because there's just so many exorcism films, and there's so many deals with the devil type of films, and I kind of it's not typically my type of genre. Like I'll go see whatever like in theaters, but there's just so many exorcism films. So, but this one was awesome. So yeah, so this
Henry,
elderly. Oh yeah,
Henry and
the
Audrey.
Audrey, and yes, that's right, because Audrey's my grandma's name. That's right.
Yep, and you said
Um,
that during the movie.
I forgot. Yeah. So basically, yeah, like Henry is a doctor, a very wealthy doctor, and his wife Audrey is, I guess, she was a stay-at-home mom, but they are very very in love, and it was her idea to resurrect the grandson. They've been going to satanic church meetings, and they get their hands on this really old book. I know he said in the movie he spent his entire retirement fund on it, right?
Yeah, he spent their entire retirement plan on
It,
this
it was like
book.
a yeah, it was like a book of incantations.
Yeah,
Um,
I think he said he went to like Peru or something like that, and
I
found it
think you're
off of a
right.
guy, off of a guy.
Yeah, he said it was like he got it off of a really shady guy, and he spent his entire retirement fund on it. But um, so they're starting to do these rituals. So they kidnap this pregnant woman who's a patient of his, and they're very like cold about everything. Like they are on a mission, and so they kidnap her, they chain her up. She's freaking out every day, obviously for good reason, and you hear their backstory, and they start doing like little spells here and there, and they're actually working. So because for a little bit you think that, okay, maybe these guys are crazy and they're desperate and they're just doing anything possible, but these spells start working, and they start opening up kind of like a gateway. What they don't realize that what they're doing is, so they're trying to pull a soul out of purgatory, right? That was like the whole thing. So
Yeah,
they open up a gateway where they are under the impression that they'll be able to just find their grandson in purgatory, and he'll come through this pregnant woman and then be reborn. But what they don't realize is when you make a deal with the devil, it obviously never like goes as planned. I know we talked about that before too, how there's never a perfect murder or like a perfect crime because things always, things always go wrong. So they open up a gateway, and not only is the son's spirit trying to get through, but every ghost possible is trying to come through. So like they're getting all these weird ghosts coming in their house, and I know you were getting freaked out at the one guy.
Dude, because he was like, oh my god, he was so freaking creepy. He was like all up on her. He bit her stomach.
They must have hired a contortionist for that role. There's this one guy who comes in and he like back bends and walks. He does like the creepy like grudge walk, but he was really scary. Like he must have killed himself by suffocating himself. Like he had a plastic bag over his head. And
he did.
Oh, that was wild, dude. And he ended up biting the pregnant woman's stomach. So so they open this portal and all these different ghosts keep coming in, and then their surroundings start getting manipulated. So like they got this guy that comes and does their snow removal every couple days, and he throws himself into the snow. What are those things called? The snow plow. Not the is it snowblower? Yeah, the snowblower.
I don't know. Snow something.
The snow something. Yeah, it was a snowblower. I don't know. My brain's broken, dude. We've been here too long. We've been deployed too long already. God, the Army, our long deployments. So he throws himself in the snowblower and it chops his body up, and he keeps doing it over and over again. It's like his ghost keeps coming back and doing it, but he always has like a message for them. He'll be like, yeah, Jackson's inside. He's going to come through. And then obviously like crimes don't go as planned. So this girl goes missing, and the last, person to see her was Henry, the doctor. So the cops come looking for her at the doctor's office, and he kind of fumbles his lie for like a second, and she notices. So she ends up at his house, and she starts arresting the wife and the wife Audrey, and Henry comes home. They're both held at gunpoint, and then something takes over her body, and she ends up blowing her brains out. So now her ghost is trapped in the house.
And
over and over
it kept
again,
happening over and over. Yeah,
exactly. Like it's kind of hard to explain to an audience. You kind of just got to go watch it. I definitely recommend this one. It's streaming on Shudder right now. So if you have Shudder, which I also recommend getting, it's like $4.75 a month. It's totally worth it. So basically, these people keep like dying in their homes. Then Henry has to get rid of the bodies and their vehicles. He keeps dumping them in the same spot in the woods. So these ghosts keep reenacting their deaths like over and over again in their house. So finally, like this old couple, they kind of realize they're in over their heads, and they go to their church, their satanic church, and they get the help of this like super reclusive like nerd who lives in his mom's basement, and he is very, very much into the Church of Satan. And he says now, like, oh, he can help them. But then he's going to need $10,000. He has like all these requests, but he knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
But you kind of, as an audience member, realize that he's got like ulterior motives. Like, I think you even said like,
he just looked really like sketch. Like I knew because he looked so sketch.
Yeah. At first, I thought he was going to be a wuss and wuss out. Like, I thought that was my first impression. I was like, oh, this guy's going to see a chained up woman and leave. But no, he was like into it. He was like, I can do this for you.
Put the salt around the bed and
yeah,
do this like this. He was like giving them advice on what to do and like what's best to work and stuff. And mind you, like the Audrey, she was so before like all of this had like happened. The girl, what was her name? Like Becker or something like that?
Is it Shannon?
I don't know. It was
Shannon Beck. I
something.
think it was Shannon Becker.
Yeah, Shannon. So she was like convincing Audrey, like, hey, like you don't have to kill me after this. Like, I can move wherever you guys want to go and help you take care of the little boy. I can't remember what his name was, but they kept saying it over and
Jackson.
over. She was like, yeah, oh yeah, I'm so dumb. She was like, I can help you take care of Jackson. Like I can be his mom because she didn't even know if she wanted the kid at first.
Yeah.
Um
But now that
and
she had spent 9 months with the kid growing
yeah,
in her
she wanted
stomach, like
him.
exactly. So she was almost having like almost like a Stockholm syndrome, but sort of like I want to help raise this kid. I mean, she was obviously trying to figure out an escape plan. She was pretty smart.
Hell yeah, she was hella smart. She was like so calm.
Yeah. And like
She
the
almost
couple
escaped
didn't
him.
realize, like I think Audrey didn't realize that she was going to have to kill the host basically after the child's born, or if it's going to kill her, even though they didn't care. There was one really creepy line. I thought first of all, I thought the script was really good. Like I think like there wasn't like a line that was wasted in it, I don't think. You remember when Henry is sitting on the ground and to he's talking to Shannon. She's chained up, and she's like, do you feel any remorse? Like, don't you feel guilty or whatever? He was just like, he's like, no, I've pretty much lost all feeling. He's like, I made a deal with the devil a long time ago. He said something like that, and it kind of, you and I both kind of looked at each other and we were like, damn, that was a really good line.
Yeah,
Um,
because he was like, he 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 wanted to bring his daughter back, but they felt like, it would be a waste because she committed suicide.
yeah,
So they
I
were
think
like,
you're right.
let's just bring back our grandson, which we saw him in the beginning of the movie when they kidnapped her. um Shannon had saw like some kid in the room and she was like scared, and they were like, oh my
Yeah,
god, like he
and
revealed himself to her, and they thought it was like fate that she was definitely the one.
But yeah, so that was pretty wild too because like um you start like you think this kid just lives with them in the house or something, but really that was a ghost the whole time. And it was the demon trying to come through and trying to convince the couple. Like that's what I love about these movies is like there's always people willing to go to whatever depths to do something. Like like you have like Robert Johnson. He became the greatest guitar player that ever lived when he made a deal with the devil. And then he's the greatest guitar player for what, like a year of his life or 2 years of his life, and then the devil always comes looking for you at the end. It's like everyone forgets. They have like it's like nobody learns from anybody else in these situations. Like
To like come to recollect what they want.
exactly, like if you're gonna bring somebody back, you know, to life, somebody else's life is gonna have to be sacrificed. It's
Right.
always how it goes.
Plus, where they also messed up is like they were doing the chant and they didn't even understand what they were really chanting. They had it all fucked up what they were chanting. And then number two,
Exactly.
they were like, the guy had told them, they were like, you know, you just invited like all these like spirits or whatever into your home. Like you can't just ask for one specific spirit. They're all going to be looking for a host. Like anybody is capable of becoming a host, etc., etc.
Exactly. Yeah,
So
you're right about that. Yeah, it wasn't just the woman because she was pregnant. Like they'll come through anybody. They're just looking for living souls. The only reason the pregnant woman is the bigger deal is because these spirits want to be reborn as a kid, so they get to live their life all over again. But remember, I think the guy that they were hiring, the guy from the Satanic Church, he was like, honestly, you guys could be hosts, but most spirits don't want you because you're old already. But
yeah,
so anyway, they say like we'll do whatever it takes or whatever, and they hire this guy from the church. Well, you find out that this fucking guy decides to go haywire the day before he's going to help them bring their grandson back. He kills his mom. He shows up to their house with like all these rats and shit. The Henry gets a phone call from the one girl who runs the Satanic Church, and she's